Welcome to Mice to Mouth. Today we're taking a deep dive into a really fascinating perspective on money habits.
Yeah, specifically some common ones that, well, according to one successful entrepreneur's view, might be holding people back without them even realizing it.
Exactly. We're looking at his insights, someone who went from broke to, pretty significant success.
And it's all based on his own journey, right? The wins, the losses. It's practical advice, sometimes maybe a bit blunt.
Definitely blunt sometimes. So our goal here is to unpack those key insights, understand the why behind these habits and the alternatives he suggests.
Extracting the lessons learned, things you might actually apply.
Okay, let's jump right in. The first habit he talks about, it's taking advice from broke people.
Yeah, sounds harsh, but the idea is pretty simple.
If someone hasn't achieved what you want financially, maybe their advice isn't the blueprint you need.
Exactly. It's like taking fitness tips from someone who isn't fit. Their methods. Well, they haven't gotten the results you're after.
Right, so why base your financial strategy on that?
Makes no sense when you put it like that.
And he doesn't just say who not to listen to. He actually suggests who to seek out. 3 groups. First, mentors.
People who've genuinely succeeded where you want to succeed. Guides for the big picture, the major decisions.
And number 2,
coaches.
right, the specialists. They have the detailed blueprint, the how-to, deep expertise in, say, sales or marketing, tactical stuff.
They give you the training plan, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And the third one is peers, which I thought was interesting. People on a similar path, maybe just a year or two ahead.
Yeah, because their insights are super current. They know what's working right now.
So the key, in his view, is filtering. Listen politely to everyone, maybe, but filter based on results.
You have to, because bad advice, even well-intentioned advice, can actively, derail you, cost you time, cost you money.
That really shifts the focus. Okay, habit number 2, ignoring your bank account.
Oh yeah, the classic head in the sand approach.
He tells a story about his mentor getting really upset because he didn't know his business numbers offhand. And that just highlights it, doesn't it? What you measure, you can improve. If you ignore your finances, you're just flying blind.
You can't track progress, can't spot problems.
You're just reacting all the time.
So his solutions are really practical, like the 24-hour rule. Check your finances, business or personal, once a day.
Just a quick look, keeps you aware, prevents surprises.
And automating tracking, using apps, software, make it easy to see where money's going.
Right, know your capacity without, manually tracking every penny.
And then looking ahead, planning, saving, investing. He emphasizes saving is foundational.
Absolutely. Got to have that base. Saving creates the surplus for security, for future opportunities.
And finally, creating sensors, like credit card notifications, low balance alerts.
Little tripwires, so you know immediately if something big happens.
So the point for you, the listener, isn't about being obsessive, right? It's about control.
It's empowerment, moving from feeling overwhelmed to making informed decisions.
I get that. Control versus feeling behind. Okay, habit 3 is trying to get rich quick.
The siren song.
This perspective really hammers home that real wealth takes time, consistent effort, smart decisions.
Not overnight schemes, because those often involve huge risks in areas you just don't understand.
He has this wild story, investing hundreds of thousands in these $10,000 crack houses in Detroit, sight unseen.
Whoa.
Based on advice from someone he just met, driven by FOMO, fear of missing out.
Oh, FOMO, the worst financial advisor.
You lost $100,000. Didn't know the market, didn't see the properties.
That's a painful lesson. Shows how hype and unfamiliar territory can just wreck you.
So instead of chasing that stuff, his advice is fundamental. First, build a valuable skill.
Something the market actually needs. Sales, marketing, AI, automation, things in demand.
Your core value generator. Second, solve real problems.
Yeah, and crucially, solve them for people or businesses who actually have money to pay for the solution.
Right, not just building something cool for your friends who can't afford it.
Yeah.
Focus where value is exchanged.
Makes sense.
And third, learn to build the business. His definition is super simple to start. Sell something to a stranger, take their money.
Don't overcomplicate it early on, just that core value exchange.
So why does this matter for you? Well, focusing on skills, problems, and business basics is, steady, sustainable.
It's fundamentally different from the gamble of get rich quick. It's building something real.
Much sturdier foundation, yeah. Which leads to habit 4, trading time for money.
The classic employee trap, initially anyway.
He uses his own example, $30 an hour as a programmer. Seemed great at first.
But you hit a ceiling fast, right? Your income is totally capped by the hours you can physically work. It's linear.
Exactly. And he talks about levels of this time trading. Level 1, employee. Trade time directly for money.
That's where most people start. Limited scale.
Level 2, entrepreneur. Now you trade money for time. You hire people.
Right, you use revenue to buy back your time, freeing you up for higher leverage stuff, leveraging others' time.
And level 3, empire builder. Trading money for money. Investing.
Getting your capital to work for you. That's where wealth can really accelerate, independent of your direct hours.
So the insight for you is, if your income only comes from your own hours, there's a hard limit.
You got to move towards leveraging capital or other people's time to break that ceiling. It's a crucial shift.
A fundamental shift.
Yeah.
Okay, habit 5, paying for status.
Keeping up with the Joneses. Or maybe people you don't even like.
Yeah, buying things you can't really afford to impress people you don't care about. He jokes about his own nice watch now, but says that came way, way later.
After the wealth was built. Not to build it or look like it, it's a trap, that external validation thing.
He tells this story about a crazy, expensive $20,000 ski trip early on. All luxury, but later realized the best part was just the cheap road trip there with his brother.
That says it all, right? The real value often isn't in the expensive stuff.
So how to avoid it? First, he says, take actual pride in living below your means while you're building.
Yeah, shift the focus inward. Financial strength over outward displays.
Then there's that provocative exercise. Carry around like $10,000 cash and don't spend it.
Okay, maybe not practical or safe for most people to carry that much cash.
Right. But the principle is key. Training your brain that having money doesn't mean instantly spending it. Build that discipline. Maybe a 30-day rule for big purchases is more realistic.
Yeah, the core idea is building control, detachment from the impulse.
And finally, just decide not to play the status game. Be okay being you.
That's liberating, because otherwise those status symbols, those possessions, they end up possessing you, tying you down.
Frees up resources, frees up mental energy.
Powerful.
Okay, habit 6, impulse buying.
Oh boy. This one hits home for a lot of people, I think.
Totally. Scrolling online, see something cool, click, buy. It's so easy.
Way too easy. And he introduces the concept here, he says, is even more powerful than compound interest.
More powerful. Okay, I'm listening.
Delayed gratification.
Explain that.
Well, compound interest grows your money. Delayed gratification grows your potential, your options. Because easy credit, leasing, it makes it so tempting to load up on payments right away.
The whole system wants you to say yes now.
Exactly. And his framing is pretty stark. A yes to impulse is a no to your dreams.
True.
Every dollar spent impulsively is a dollar not invested in your skills, your business, your education, the things that actually get you closer to your big goals.
And it really forces you to think about the opportunity cost.
Totally. And his strategy, tie big purchases to big goals as rewards.
Like complete a tough challenge, then get the fancy car, finish a huge project, then take the big trip.
Makes the reward earned, not impulsive. It's motivation tied to productive results.
So the lesson for you isn't just saving pennies, it's building the discipline to channel resources toward your vision.
And avoiding the debt burden that just slows you down, keeps the path clear.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Habit 7 is almost the flip side. Spending time to save money.
Yeah, this one feels counterintuitive at first glance.
The idea is, people struggling financially often spend time to save small amounts of money. Wealthy people spend money to save time.
It boils down to recognizing time as your most valuable, truly finite resource. We all get 24 hours. Leverage is key.
He uses his dad as an example again, spending Sundays mowing rental property lawns.
Saving a few bucks, right?
Yeah, but when asked if he liked it enough to do the neighbors' lawns too, he said no.
Exactly. He was trading valuable time for a small saving on a task that wasn't his highest value activity or something he purely loved.
And this applies to so many things, right? Cleaning, errands, groceries, basic emails, scheduling.
All those little tasks that just eat up hours and hours every week.
Hours you could use for skills, income generation, or even just rest and recovery.
Which is where his buyback rate comes in. It's a formula.
Right. Annual income divided by 2,000 hours gives your rough hourly rate.
Then your buyback rate is 25% of that. The idea is pay up to that amount to free up an hour of your time.
Aiming for at least a 4x return on that freed up hour. So if your rate is a $100 hour, you'd pay up to $25 to buy that hour back.
The benefit for you is shifting your mindset. Outsourcing isn't just an expense, it's an investment in your future capacity.
freeing yourself from low-value tasks to focus on high-impact ones.
It's playing offense with your time.
Which brings us straight to habit 8, playing defense.
This is a bold claim he makes. You can't save your way to significant wealth. You have to play offense, increase income.
It challenges that frugal living is everything narrative.
Right. Prudence is good, but just pinching pennies with stagnant income won't build wealth. That's a scarcity mindset, playing not to lose.
He says you need to play to win.
Pursue gain, not just avoid loss.
He gives examples like Mr. Beast, the YouTuber, reinvesting everything into bigger videos. That's offense.
Or his own story of hiring a business coach when he was young and struggling. An investment in future earnings, not an expense to cut.
So where should you invest to play offense? He highlights a few key areas.
Your skills. Invest limitlessly there, he says. Health, education, books, courses. Your ability to create value.
Your network. Investing, getting into better rooms, better environments. Your network influences your net worth.
And your time. Invest to become a better time trader, linking back to the last habit. Free up time for offense.
So the message for you is, while managing money matters, the bigger lever in this view is aggressively focusing on growth, on increasing your earning potential.
It's about unlocking abundance, not just managing scarcity.
Okay, final habit number 9, making money the goal itself.
This is a big one. Money is just a tool. If the number is the only goal, it often leads to feeling empty.
He shares a really personal story here. After selling his first company, becoming a millionaire, he felt completely lost.
Because his whole identity, his purpose, was tied up in the hustle of building it. The money arrived, but the why disappeared.
It really shows that fulfillment comes from something deeper than just the bank balance. Purpose, contribution, meaning.
Money can amplify purpose, but it can't be the purpose.
So how do you approach money with purpose? First, think beyond the number. What can the money do? Who can you help? What impact?
Connect the financial success to the positive change you want to see.
Second, find your purpose. He suggests looking near your biggest struggles, your pain points.
Often, overcoming challenges gives you unique insight to help others facing the same thing. That can be incredibly purposeful.
Turning your experience outward. And third, learn to give back. Intentionally connect money to helping others.
Whether it's giving, impact investing, creating opportunities, that connection brings fulfillment that just chasing digits doesn't.
Without that, you're always chasing the next thing, never feeling satisfied.
Purpose makes the journey itself fulfilling.
And he finishes on a positive note, reminding us of the potential we have right now. Access to tech, info, networks, incredible resources compared to the past.
Recognizing and using those resources is playing offense. When even setbacks, they're lessons, preventing bigger mistakes later.
So, that's the tour. 9 habits. Taking advice from broke people, ignoring finances, get rich quick, only trading time, paying for status, impulse buys, spending time to save money, playing defense, and making money the goal.
Wow, yeah. It's quite a list. It really pushes for some fundamental shifts in thinking. Scarcity to abundance, passive to active, validation to purpose. It's definitely worth thinking about which of these might be subtly holding you back.
It may be a final thought to chew on based on this perspective. Considering the potential and resources you have right now, what's one concrete thing you could do this week to play a little more offense in your financial life?
How could you focus just a bit more on creating value, increasing potential, rather than only focusing on avoiding loss?
Even a small step.
Small steps build momentum.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We really hope these insights spark some ideas for you to think about and maybe even act on.